can start in anytime.
Maybe a little introduction.
Yeah, kind of want you to lead us off, Hammer. We got some homies hanging out with us here.
Okay. All right. What's up, guys? Sitting here with BMan, we like to call him, and Jdub. You guys want to introduce yourselves and kind of see what's going on in the world?
Do we just stick to first names or what?
Whatever you want.
I mean, unless you're in some protection program,
Yeah.
which very well could be.
Okay, I'll go with Brian, otherwise known as BMan.
Right on.
Widely known as BMan.
I'll go by Justin.
Jdub.
Jdub.
Jdub's good.
A couple Jdubs out there these days. You're kind of the original.
Yeah. But your Jdub's pretty damn good, too, though.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I like your Jdub.
Most Jdubs are good.
He's a good kid.
So we've been fishing with these couple of fellas here for a number of years, maybe
7 years this week.
7 years this week.
Yeah, 2017 was our first time up here.
It's a long time. I think Matt's going to get upset if you sit that far away from your mic.
Sorry, Matt.
There you go. Get in there a little bit.
So I fished with you, with Justin back in, 2018?
2017.
2017. And since that day, or up till that day, I'd been conventional fisherman for the last 20, 30 years. I fished a lot with the fly rod when I was a teenager. Since that day, fishing with AC fly fishing, I think I've only had a conventional rod in my hand once since then, and it's all been fly fishing for the
So you got the bug.
Got the bug and have been going at it ever since.
Yeah.
It'll do it to you.
It will. And, well, yeah, what is the we had the privilege of taking you fine gentlemen fishing 7 years ago. What do you think, what was the difference for you? I mean, I kind of, similar deal in college. I learned what a fish felt like on a fly rod, and I was like, oh, man, this is different.
It's
I
an
want to do
addiction.
more of this. Yeah.
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 I remember
what do
the
you
first run with Matt. It was right underneath the bridge. And it was like, whoa. And he's like, dude, your day's just starting. This is nothing. and it was that day.
Yeah.
I feel like you never can relive that day, but that day was,
Chasing the dragon.
it was insane.
Yeah.
Well, and
Chasing
what
the
I've always
dragon.
told people too is you get out on the water and it's every trip you learn a whole bunch of new things and you get better, but you also remember the things you've forgotten. And
Yep.
so you're kind of digging back and it's like, okay, if I remember this and I pick up on what other people are doing, usually it turns into a really great day.
Right. So I think that's one of the big things with fly fishing, right, is, not that conventional fishing is easy. They're just kind of two different ways to go about it. But I feel like even from a guide's perspective, you're going to learn, whether it's one little thing a day or 100, being in a different place, you're always going to learn something. There's always something that you see that day or experience. It's like, oh, and then that's applicable for the duration of however long you're doing this, right?
Or a lot of it too is, oh, I don't ever want to do that again.
When your shit tangles up a little bit and you
Yep.
shake it.
Yeah, just,
And then you do it about
Yeah.
10 minutes later.
for Mento, B-Man, you're in the penalty box. Just sit down.
You get a 5-minute timeout.
Yep.
And I remember that day very well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. At Jeep Flat.
yeah.
Yeah. You're missing the bite
All
for
right,
5
Justin, you're
minutes.
fishing by yourself today.
Yeah. Fucking sit down, B-Man.
Call it a power play. One guy's fishing.
Yeah. We had a couple of those today. A couple of power plays.
Just a couple.
No real payoff.
I don't think any of them paid off.
Yeah.
No big
We
payoff.
were 0 for 4 on the power play.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay.
Missed shots on goals. Yeah, so you guys did a little fishing today.
Yeah, we did. We floated the river today. Did a little early morning start. Took a little bit to kind of get going, and then we got going, and we had a pretty good bite there for a handful of hours, and there was a lot of bugs in the sky, which was awesome. And yeah, they were happy there for a little bit, and then it kind of, after lunch, kind of started tapering down a little bit.
Little siesta time.
Yeah, a little siesta time. So at least we had a good few hours of good fishing, which made it fun. And yeah, water's beautiful right now.
Yeah.
11K, I think, is what it's at. Probably about 4 or 5 feet of visibility. It's primo. And yeah, it's nice out right now.
I think it takes a little, the flows have been since early February. They've been kind of like a yo-yo, up and down. You've been seeing some of that. They came up to 11 3 days ago. They were at $6,000 for a week, came up to 11. I think they're coming back down to 8 on starting Sunday.
Right.
Kind of been a different spring as far as, you know, the fluctuations. So it's kind of like when their environment and habitat's changing that much, it kind of takes a little time for them to settle back in. I think despite that, though, those flurries of good bite windows we've had have been pretty darn good.
Yep.
Pretty
Good
darn
quality
good.
fish, too.
Yeah, good quality. Yeah,
great quality.
They're
I mean,
all good.
you know, you got your smaller ones, but there was definitely some big fish eating today, which was cool.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
They were
kinda-
caught. They might not have landed in the
That's
net,
true.
but they were caught.
You never lose them. What are you talking about?
Sometimes. I didn't say me.
Kind of going back to the origin of your fly fishing, BMan. I mean, I remember pretty vividly the first time you and I fished together with Justin here. I think we were up on the Klamath. That was one of the first times we fished together.
Iron Gate, yep.
Back when we had old Iron Gate Dam there, keeping that water clean. We hooked a pretty good one early in the day, run it through some rocks, kind of a little rock garden deal. Had to use angles and maneuver the rod and the boat to get a fish close to us, and we netted the fish, and I think he had it filming, but I remember vividly, you go, I'm coachable, you know, and he was new to it still, pretty new to it, green to it still then. And, you know, I think from our perspective, you know, the fellas that, you know, take people fishing that get to row the boat a lot of these days, for us, that's a big thing. Like that's probably the primary thing that stokes us in a day to go fishing, whether it's easy fishing or difficult fishing. Someone that's willing and really wants to learn and get better. It might take, you know, doesn't happen overnight, but the excitement that you had in that, like from that on, it's like, fuck, dude, I'm in all day.
Right.
Like, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go get better. Let's go play.
Well, no, but too, your excitement was equal to my excitement, and you did coach me the whole way to getting that fish into the net. And so, you know, if you can not think you know everything, you get out on the water, you take advice from your guide, and you follow direction, your success rate is going to
Good things happen.
Right on.
Good
Yeah.
things happen.
Yeah.
It's a team game. That's what we say a lot. It's like, hey, man, you got, you know, the playing field changes every day where you are. Even if you're on the same river for a week, the playing field's different. You have new players in your boat, and you got to coach and fish through that. It's from our perspective, you know, people can say, oh, that must get boring if you're doing the same thing for a week straight. But man, when you have new energy, positive vibes in the boat, different scenario every day, like you're engaged, you're into it.
Absolutely.
I know it's always easy for Justin over here.
I think the perspective of watching you guys work is cool. I mean, because you're not rowing the boat. I mean, you're working. I mean, we've had a day that wasn't easy, but you put every fly you had in the box to get a fish.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fish might not have cooperated, but you are working. Like
But the effort,
you're just
we're
not
working
behind
together.
rows. You are working your ass off to get fish.
But we're working together, right? And your perspective, because you've seen insane days over the years. You've seen days where it's been hard.
Yeah.
But your perspective, and it's not like you just show up and, I expect to catch them every cast, because you've had those days.
Yeah.
But you appreciate those days, you know, certainly as guides and the anglers in the boat more when you've seen the different scenarios.
And to that day, I mean, that's still one of my, I mean, that was an awesome day. I mean, the fish didn't cooperate, but it was still a super fun day.
For sure. And so you take those days and let's do this. Let's do this a little different. Let's improve here. Like, how can we still make this a productive day of learning and getting better a little bit at a time? It's a fun aspect of kind of the primary aspect, I think, of all this stuff.
And it's cool because, you know, as guys keep fishing with us like you two, you know, you've seen so much and your versatility, and you've seen a good bite. So, you know, it's cool to have those guys in the boat, and they just they understand what's going on. And I'm not saying it makes it easier on us, but, you know, they understand it, and you guys understand it, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
And you will get those slow days, so just enjoy the time on the water.
Yep.
You know, it's not going to be lights out every time.
Right.
But 90% of the time it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a special river. I mean, people ask about, well, where do you go? Redding.
Yeah.
Go to Redding. It is really good.
Yeah. We're lucky. We're lucky to have
Super
this
lucky.
resource and everything around. I mean, this time of year, we talk a lot about the diversity and all the other things that are going on, you know, for folks that like to walk and Fall River's just starting to fish. You guys have done that a few times now.
Yep.
You know, and going back to, you know, the origin of fly fishing, like one of those things that it's a good excuse to go to different places and bring a fly rod.
And
They're usually in pretty cool places.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
I was going to bring that up about B-Man, like him just getting into fly fishing, and now he is being able to go chase saltwater fish and go chase coastal fish, and, you know, you're making your wide variety of stuff, and it's cool.
Been to Alaska with you guys a bunch of times, Montana, Belize a couple times. No, it's an awesome passion and way to spend your time away from work.
Right.
So.
And to be able to go hang out with you and go to cool places, you know, it's why we do it. I
That's
love
so
it,
much of it
you
for
know?
us.
And Justin, I haven't been able to have him in the boat.
Full disclosure, I have little kids, so I don't get that flexibility.
I understand that.
I have been in a group trip with Justin for, I don't know, 6 years now or whatever. Yeah. And it just felt like we've been fishing together for 6 years. So it's just cool to have that, you know, and it's badass.
Yeah.
Badass.
No, it's
fun.
It's a cool thing. What's your origin a little bit, Justin? I mean, you...
Born and raised in the Bay.
Yeah.
I think the first time I ever fly fishing was, we were talking about this a little bit. It was at Pump House on
Hat Creek.
Hat Creek with my grandpa.
Yep.
And then never really did it. I kind of messed around up in the Sierras, kind of on the Stanislaus. And then that fly trip up here kind of turned everything around. And now it's all I want to do.
Yeah. Kick that thing sideways a little bit.
And maybe throw some, or maybe hit some golf balls every now and then too.
You like hitting the golf ball. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm envious of that. And you still get to do a fair amount of that with kids.
Yeah. I'd figure out a way to make that work.
That's pretty special.
It's also closer to home, so it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's pretty special. Let me kick that thing because I feel like it's fading out.
Better.
Without Maddie being here to regulate,
worse.
I'm going to get scrutinized for the quality of anything we do.
You're a bad podcaster, Anthony.
I know. I know. I'm halfway decent at rowing the boat, and everything else is pretty poor. And so, I mean, you were saying a little bit earlier, you've taken fly fishing now, and you've gone to quite a few different places.
Yeah, mostly California, Idaho.
Yeah.
Do the Delta a lot. That's fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
I think I've caught a fish in every western state but Montana.
You're going to change that
in hopefully 2
in
weeks.
a few weeks.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, that's way cool. And B-Man too, you used to do that. You used to do some salmon fishing in Alaska.
A lot of salmon fishing up on the Nishugak, all conventional, bouncing row, dragging row, whatever you want to call it, boondog lane.
I think this is a good time to hear a story. Can we hear a story? Your best story about Alaska when you had to go to the store or something?
I don't remember that one.
Oh, it's one of the best stories. Damn it.
If it comes back to me while we're sitting
It was a
here
conventional
chatting.
trip. It was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
When you were
went to
staying up on the
Alaska.
noosh?
Yeah.
And it was like you had to go buy this, like, maybe you had like a bright orange or bright colored jacket or something. It was a funny story.
There was a trip, actually. I went up and fished on the Kenai with you guys. It's been a number of trips up there, which completely changed my perspective of fishing the Kenai Peninsula because in those days we fished the lower Kenai and it was all flatfish with a sardine wrap. And if you catch a king salmon during the day, your rod goes down. There's so many different regulations on what you can and can't do. And back trolling with a 2-stroke all day long. You're just kind of passing out as you're breathing the exhaust from the whole day. It's a rough way to fish. But it was so cold. We got up there. It was June and it was early, and we had a group of like 6 guys, and we were freezing our asses off. And in those days, there was a Kmart in Kenai. And it was the world's largest Kmart. That was the claim to fame up on the Kenai Peninsula. So we decided we needed to get warmer clothes. So we all went to the Kmart and we found Carhartt jumpsuits. And so
high vis.
Yeah. And the silver bullets had been going down pretty good. And so we're all in the men's department, all putting on one-piece jumpsuits. And then next thing over the overhead, security, could you please head over to the men's department, please? and anyway, security didn't bother with us. We all bought our Carhartt jumpsuits, and it was just sitting in a boat that trip. We did do one cool thing for halibut where they do these beach launches with tractors, and basically just get the boat up to speed and then just stop, and the boat slides off the trailer, and next thing you know, you're in the Cook Inlet. So that was pretty exciting way to launch a boat. But and in those days, I swore I would never, ever go back and fish the Kenai. It was just like, I'm not doing this. Man, this is a rough way to fish. And then went on fly fishing trip with hosted travel with AC, and had a great time. And now I've done it like 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different, right? It's different. It's just a different perspective and lens, I think.
The people, having the house, having the meals cooked and everything.
I think that was my point when I asked the question.
No, it's fun. It's a fun way for us to get to go share places with folks that we fish with here a lot, and go share the other shit that we're excited about.
Right.
Where's your favorite place to go?
Oh boy. That's a tough question. I think
it's all so different, huh?
It's all so different. I mean, it's hard to say. Alaska's special because after a long, warm summer here at home, we're fishing for trout, and it's, warm weather. We go up there at the end of August for a month. We get to put the jackets on, the waders, it's real cold in the morning.
It's 115 in Redding.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really nice to be up there in the fall. Like, it's fall up there and it's still summer here. So I think that's the next one, kind of more or less, that I guess we still go to Montana in between now and then. But I think that change of pace, like early fall up there is super cool. And then we get to fish, like we get to row the boats up there a lot too. So we get to, it's kind of like an early Christmas, in that we get to go pursue coastal steelhead for a month. 3 months before we get to start doing it here at home. So that's one that I know I look forward to a lot. Jaret's been on that one for years now, and super fun guiding for those fish.
Special place.
It is. Kind of feels like maybe the North Coast used to be 50 years ago, with numbers of fish and opportunities. And ocean bright steelhead by the ocean is pretty damn cool. When you look at the forecast at home and it's still 95 degrees. It's cool to be up there knowing you're doing that. So that's a good one. But man, I Belize, BMan's done that a couple times now. On that one, when we accompany our guests, we get to go fish some, and it's not that frequent that we get to get in the boat with our buddies and go and pin our ears back and go fish together. So that's really cool. I mean, fishing for saltwater fish is way different than fishing for freshwater fish, and you can get humbled a lot, and that's a good feeling. It's good to get hit in the mouth every once in a while. So that's a good one. Then Montana's just way cool because fish dry flies, and it can feel quote unquote easy sometimes. And but yeah, it's hard to pick one, man. I like going on all the trips we do, and the variety is nice. Variety is nice.
The Belize trip, people want to catch tarpon, permit, bonefish, but up in the mangroves, side casting with the pole dancer, topwater flies, and having the snook come up and smash those things, that's a pretty good time, a way to spend some time during a day.
Such an underrated fish.
I was going to say, snook is just such an underrated fish.
It
is so fun.
Yeah. Those things pull like crazy. I know a year ago, like, we had a couple gnarly weather days, and we were spending a lot of time up doing that in some protected areas, and really cool critters. I mean, those things will break your wrist with a 10 weight, some of them, the way they eat it and leave. Super cool fish. Again, I don't have a whole lot of direction here.
Maddie didn't leave you notes.
Not really. He just said, you retards are going to do a podcast. Cool. I'm off today.
Who is he calling retards?
Probably Jaret. Not
okay.
Certainly not you guys.
Okay.
We're special guests.
Yeah. This is cool.
This is super cool.
I mean, I love Maddie, dude. He got me hooked. I mean, that day still, sure. I mean, Maddie's awesome. Yeah,
we try and drag him out there more, and he likes to be in here doing what he does.
Yeah, he's a hell of a guide, though.
Feels pretty good in here.
Feels pretty good in here. Although when it gets hot, though, when it starts getting
Yeah.
like 95, that air conditioner after 1 o'clock doesn't keep up, and you kind of have to go home.
Oh,
It's hard to be in here after.
You might have planned that.
Yeah. You may.
Sounds like it works out just
right.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the AC's out again, guys. Sorry.
I think just a cool perspective for the 3 people that listen to this. Questions for
3 are actually here right now.
your kid might hear it. Maybe some questions are, just to us as fishing guides, guys that a little bit. And you guys have fished now at this point a lot of different places. Oregon, you guys do the steelhead thing up there some. Obviously on some of the travel trips, you've got to fish with a lot of different guides, some great guides, some guides you might not fish
Some
with
not
again.
so great guides.
But kind of, yeah, I mean, what do you look for? You're looking, hey man, I get a week to go fishing. I'm excited about putting something together for me and my buddies, or however that goes. What do you look for? Like what are you looking for in a trip?
Oh, probably fishing
Guides.
is someone that works hard.
Yeah, I'd say the work ethic, and then too, coaching is good. Sometimes chirping is good. Anthony here is known to chirp every once in a while. So chirping in moderation is a positive way to improve your skills.
Yeah.
It's someone that wants to catch the fish as equally as their guest.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's people we've had that just rode the boat. If you catch, great. If not, hey, you had a great day. And it's like,
Yeah.
we probably could have did better.
Yeah, I've fished over the years with some people where it's like, why are you a guide? Everything sets them off. Everything's wrong, and it's just like, what? I'm paying you some money for a nice day on the water. Just take it easy, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's easy to lose track of for some folks that kind of just go on autopilot, and I don't know. It's hard for us to do that here just because the dynamics and it changes. I don't know. You got to stay engaged as a fishing guide and understand that, man, we get to fish with guides on occasion, and it's not like it's just a carnival ride. You want to go out there and
For sure.
Well, so
You guys had
you say that you fish with guides. So what do you look for?
Well, real quick, you guys said a few podcasts ago, probably a couple of years ago now, and it was really a good point. Was like, we come up here. This is special, right? You get 2 days, get away. I don't know when we're coming back, but you guys obviously do every day. But you're like, it's their day that they might have saved up for, or did whatever, and it's their experience, and it's not so much about like Brian said, having a bad attitude.
Special every day.
Yeah,
Every day is so special. That's why I love to be able to be on the water almost every day, because every day is so different. And like you were saying, being able to have new people in your boat all the time, it's their first time, maybe in 6 months going fishing.
Yeah.
So it brings that excitement level more and more every day. It's badass.
I think it's a good reminder for, just say any fishing guide, a young one, whoever. These people are choosing to spend their vacation time coming up to visit you. It's up to you to make sure they have a good time. And the fishing is important for sure, 100%. But there's so much more to a day than just netting fish all day.
Yeah, people are looking for different things in the experience.
Yeah,
The fish are one thing, but nature,
All of
many
it, man.
things going on.
Sociability, just being able to bullshit for the day and talk about life.
the energy in the boat. You can make
Jaret was giving us stock tips today, so that was
That's the last thing I was talking about.
I will not be giving it.
Very uneducated in that department.
But yeah, I think that's something. I mean, when we go fish with guides on the rare occasions that we do get to, shit, man, I'm up before the alarm goes off. Like
I'm so excited.
I'm really excited to go fishing, and if I feel like that with the dude that I jump in with for the day, or the gal, whatever it is, like regardless of the fishing, like if there's effort and energy towards that, like it's
gonna be a good day.
It's gonna be good
For me, like I feel like if I go with a guide somewhere, fish is almost second in line.
Yeah.
Like I want to just talk to the dude and like learn more stuff or just hear this dude's life story. I think that's kind of one of the cooler things for me when I get to go fish with new guides.
Yeah.
Just learning their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you build more relationships and get more connections and get to go do other shit.
Yeah.
So,
especially, I mean, you guys get connected to everything. I mean, you're seeing people from all walks of life.
right.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the person that might only get to fish once a year, that's a big bucket list thing. They get to, you know, save up and come fishing once a year to try to maximize their day off and, you know, catch some fish and learn some stuff and have a good time, to the person that might come up 15 times a year, you know. The effort level's certainly still the same, but you appreciate the opportunity as a guide. Like, we're really lucky that people enjoy coming up here and doing this with us, that want to hire us to go and have that experience. Like, we're lucky.
Very lucky.
As soon as you take that for granted, you got to go find something else to do.
So you never
love this
answered the
stuff.
question, what do you look for in a guide?
I think energy and effort.
Okay.
Effort. Give a shit, like we talk about a lot. The give a shit factor is probably the most important thing day to day.
Yeah.
You would genuinely give a shit. Again, regardless of the fishing, you're going to feel like, you know, as the angler, you're going to feel like you're having a positive day.
Sure.
You're having a positive experience. So
It's the little
And
stuff.
we had
too.
a talk about this, I don't know, a few years ago. I don't know what the day was.
when you were whining,
Probably.
Was that during, was that
But
during
no,
a
but we asked
timeout?
him, and I was like, and he was all pumped up, and you get really into it, and I don't know what it came up with, something about that, and you're like, the day I'm not is a day I'm quitting. You're like, I won't do it anymore. You're like,
Yeah.
I have to be engaged into it, otherwise I'm not doing it anymore.
you got to be excited about it, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's easy to, I think, for some people to take it for granted, but yeah, you got to be into it. You don't just show up and punch the clock and head home in the evening feeling good. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, it's a cool thing we get to do. We're very lucky to be able to do it
Right.
and to establish relationships like this with these guys. These guys stopped by the office yesterday afternoon. We got to hang out for an hour and shoot the shit. Like, that's special. Like that, you know, there's not a lot of people in this little world industry of fishing, you know, and fishing guides. Like, you know, this isn't a giant destination to where, hey, you got to get on a plane and go spend a day traveling. And we get to see the same people, at least these days, a few times a year. And over the course of, like, you know, you guys, 7-8 years, getting to know people and knowing whose people's kids are, and, you know, kind of knowing much more about people than just simply going for a day of fishing.
I mean, and you're spending 8 hours with someone, so you do get to know someone.
Yeah. Get to know how they smell too.
Oh, yeah.
We learned that today.
Oh.
I don't know
That's
what you're
good.
talking about.
Yeah.
As he looks in the camera.
My wife got me this new organic grass-fed bullshit deodorant. Wears off by about one every day. I go back to the Old Spice. It's getting warm enough now.
Yeah.
BMan, what do you look for in a guide?
I just think
White teeth,
yeah, all,
nice smile.
all your teeth.
Whoa, that cut someone out of this.
No, I think just the even temper, you know, some firm coaching here and there, like I said previously, and just a good day on the water, you know, no having the guide not show his frustration, even though the client has now put the line into the tree the third time or turned the leader into a bird's nest that requires the nippers to come out because there's no way in hell it's ever going to get undone. And just, you know, that's the way the day is going. And
Yeah.
self-correction, you know, is an important part of this. You know, look at what you're doing. Can you make it so you don't make that mistake again? Like I said earlier, you know, you learn a lot of what you don't want to do again.
Yep.
And so, you know, it's almost like, right, the guide has a responsibility to you for a good day on the water, but you kind of have some responsibility too to, you know, be into it and try to learn and be better. Then it makes your day turn out to be even more rewarding.
Yeah,
during
and
that time.
I think like you said earlier, like the story we talked about, up on the Klamath, expressing your excitement to learn and, above the thought of just, I showed up to reel them in,
Right.
Like, I mean, from our perspective, we're always going to put the effort forth, but I think that just is extra motivation when folks they show up and they're excited to learn, and get better and, have that relationship of, let's do this as a team. Like, let's go fish today.
Do you get customers that just want to come up and catch 100 fish and they'll be disappointed if they don't?
Well, I expected to reel them in. It's only 10. I've only reeled in 5.
Will they say, like, really? Do you get that?
On rare occasion, I feel like, you get a random trip here and there that, the expectation is you just show up and don't do much besides, take pictures of fish all day. That's pretty rare, but
is it? Yeah,
for sure. I mean,
I thought it'd be more common, to be honest with you.
Deal with the public, more common.
Yeah.
Well, I usually shut that down when we don't hook one by 10.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What else? I mean, we've got a few good years under our belt now. You got any stories, thoughts, fishing stories?
Nothing we can share on here.
Yeah, I know a lot of them are that way.
Had some fun egg bites. We had with JD. It was an egg bite one morning. You pulled us.
JD, I haven't seen him in a while.
And you gave us the whole coaching story. We're a team. I'm the coach. You're the players. You need to execute the play.
That's good.
I might have it on video somewhere. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. It's hard not to get excited sometimes. Maybe overexcited sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I think there was a little competition. You might have had a friend in another boat, and they might have caught some fish. And you guys need to get it together.
Yeah. No, it's good shit. No, it's good stuff. What if you're talking to, say someone, your neighbor's thinking about, hey, I want to get into fly fishing. I feel like that's been a topic a lot. Like, it's kind of an intimidating thing. A lot of people can think, there's too much going on. There's, what kind of words of wisdom? I mean, because you guys didn't get into it.
Hire a guide.
You are now.
Hire a guide. And they usually go, it's expensive. Well, if you want to learn, hire a guide. You can go learn on yourself. That's fine. But hiring a guide and going with a guide is going to...
It's like me trying to do all my own electrical work.
Sure. Or like golfing, right? People want to learn how to golf, and it's like, go get a swing instructor. Go get lessons. Like, there's no shame in getting lessons.
Yeah.
If you want to learn how to fly fish, go get a guide.
Yeah.
I think one interesting thing is with the fly fishing, and up here everything's catch and release. I always get from people that hear me say that I like to fish and I like to fly fish, and the next thing out of their mouth is, well, how many did you keep? Mm-hmm. Did you bring them all home for dinner? And it's like, I say, no, actually, we released all the fish, and they get to live another day.
I'm going to catch that one next year.
And they just look at you like, what is wrong with you? And so sometimes explaining that to a non-fishing person is kind of interesting, and you find I've had most of those conversations in a social setting, maybe something my wife's got going on or anything, but it's always, oh, really? You don't keep the fish? And it's like, well, I've been on plenty of trips where we did catch a lot of fish and we kept fish, but you don't have to always kill fish just to have a good time fishing.
For sure.
So that's always an interesting conversation.
My Asian hair lady does not understand it. Why you no keep? Because we don't need to.
My mother still doesn't understand it. So do they get to keep them yet?
Yeah.
Do they get to keep them on that trip?
Why do you go?
Yeah.
You don't get it.
Yeah. Oh, so they're your coworkers. You need them there.
Yeah, exactly. We say all the time. They're our business partners. They got to be there, and we got to keep them in
healthy,
good shape.
So one thing I've always thought is, especially up here, and I always, just getting way too into it, do these fish know they're going to be released when they're hooked?
It's a great question.
I've always wondered, what's in their mind, because obviously they're freaking out, but it's like, What if they realize like you're just gonna get let go?
I don't think so.
That sounds
I
like some Mitch Hedberg.
But they are so smart, right? They know the difference between what's hatching and not hatching. You think they'd eat anything that goes by them, and they're so finicky. Mm-hmm. But they're not smart enough to realize, like, I'll just get released anyways.
Well, because I think osprey don't release, and otters don't release, and stripers don't release.
Yeah, we spooked some otters today.
Yeah, we did.
We were like maybe 20, 30 feet from them, and boy, they created quite the ruckus on the side of the river. Yeah, it was cool though. They got spooked, but man, they were moving.
They were in there chewing on some fish, thinking they were sliding under the radar.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean,
stripers don't eat trout.
Yeah, not at all. Never. They're eating plenty of salmon fry downriver right now. Yeah, I know that. But no, I think, I mean, just their instincts. Like, I don't know.
I've just always thought, like, when they get hooked, they're just like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get put back. I'll smile for the next picture. But yeah, it's amazing. Especially this place, you can see plenty of fish get caught out here. But even an older fish, say a fish over 20 inches, the number of those older fish that you catch and you look at in the net or hold up for a brief second, like how clean they are still.
Yeah, they're so clean.
You know, you go to some places in Southwest Alaska, you know, that get fish, those fish get caught a lot throughout the course of the summer, and they have missing mandibles and hook marks and all this and that. And not to say you will never see that out here. You'll see that on occasion, but just the number of clean fish, I think it just shows you how much fish move in and out of spots and the health of the river. Like, you could still go out and have a lot of boats, a lot of anglers can go out and have good fishing. But I think these fish kind of rotate in and out of spots, and it's not like that fish is, Jerry's over there under that rock. Like, you'll catch him again.
We talked about that a little bit today when we hooked a few, bright fish.
Yeah.
And we're just talking how, a lot of these fish, as summer gets closer, they start turning a little brighter. They're those rippers,
They chrome out.
Yeah, we're starting to see that a little bit right now. And all those fish are so different.
Have they ever done a fish count on trout up here?
No.
I get it. We get asked that all the time.
You don't have the 3,000 fish per mile like the stats in Montana.
I think it'd be better.
What?
It'd be higher than that. I mean, I think it would rank up with some of the top rivers in the country.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I think there's so much habitat in this river. Say just a small section from Bonneview to Anderson. There's so much. 30% of that river where fish are living, like, you can't access with a fly with how we fish.
Yeah.
If they're in those spots, when they come up in shallower water, sub 6 feet, like, they're accessible and we can fool them when they're in good moods. So there are days where it would feel like there's 20,000 fish per mile.
That's what it feels like
there
most of the time.
There are days when it could feel like there's 7 fish per mile.
Yeah.
Very rare, but yeah, when it's good, people ask all the time, there must be 20,000 fish in here per mile. It's like, well, if you're doing it right, and it's a big river, right? And it's so specific to the foot sometimes of, how to get that fish in that spot or those fish in that spot to eat. It can feel like, oh, this is just easy. We're just throwing it over there, making a mend and setting the hook. And I don't,
There is a reason why we've been coming up here since 2017. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good.
Yeah. And you get to see all the different seasons of it, the phases of the fish and the cycles. It's cool. It's special. And it, like we say a lot, it doesn't get old.
No. And we talked about today how, they've experienced some lower river stuff, way downriver, and there's just a lot to be able to be had on this river, as the months progress and, the season changes. You can go down 40, 50 miles if you want and go experience something different.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hell of an ecosystem. We'll probably wrap it up in a minute. What, any bucket list things? I mean, you guys are pretty into the fly thing now. What's on your radar? What's next?
Saltwater. Saltwater would be fun. And then Alaska.
Well, you've done some of that. Well, I guess Delta.
No,
the Delta primarily.
That's all blind casting though. Mm-hmm. But still, getting a big striper on a fly rod is
super fun.
It's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never done Alaska on a fly rod. Never done the true saltwater.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
we'll
high
drag
on the
you
list.
up. We'll drag you up north one of these years.
Yeah.
BMan's done some salt stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of salt, yeah. And chasing more steelhead. I made a couple trips now up to the Olympic Peninsula. The first trip was very good. This last trip in February got completely blown out by the weather that came in. It just was nuts how much rain came down. So basically had to pack up the next morning and head back to California. So, but, you know, those things happen when you're chasing fish like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to get up and check out the Skeena river system and check out, you know, just all the different options up there. So at some point get up there and I don't know, just continue to fish and explore. And, you know, I've met a lot of cool people fishing and I've had some friendships come from that where, you know, I see them at maybe Speyorama at Golden Gate Park, you know, every April or, you know, just, you know,
dropping their drift boat off at your house.
There's that. I did get a fish with that deal, so that was a good setup. But yeah, no, it's just it's a great way to spend your free time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's cool.
One of these days, Jaret, we'll be able to spend our free time that way too.
Oh,
What's free time?
We're 50 years out.
can't wait. A few more saltwater trips, a few more steelhead trips, a few more trout trips.
That's right.
It's going to be good.
No more golfing.
Yeah. No more golfing.
Eventually.
see, I quit golfing. I just fish.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be a junkie for it.
Yeah,
How many rods did you bring in the boat today? Just
2.
Do you know how many
2.
rods are in my boat currently right now?
no less than 10.
There's 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 rods.
That's pretty manageable.
Nope,
They-
9. 9 rods right now. Yeah,
One
not bad.
conventional rod?
No, I had to leave that at home.
Because you knew these guys were coming.
Mm-hmm.
two rods.
We would have
It's
gone
not out of the
conventional.
Perfect.
question.
No, it's perfect. I love it. I love it.
Gonna try chasing some stripers downriver.
Especially when you have good rods with quality fly lines on them that aren't going to sink.
Is there such thing as a quality fly line?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
There's
a
one that
passable
floats
fly
and
line.
that one that sinks at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's kind of true. You can dress it. But no, when someone shows up and they have to fish with that rod, and it's a 60-year-old rod and it'll fish fine, but when the fly line doesn't want to float, it makes it pretty challenging.
Yep. Miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right. The gear I have has come from spending time with you guys and other guides and, you know, learning what you need to be successful or improve your odds, I guess I would say, but definitely not, you know, my Fenwick I've had since I was in 8th grade that I still have in the closet. I mean, I still have a Sears and Roebuck Ted Williams fly rod.
That actually goes back to the guide part, though, too.
yeah.
When you go on a boat, especially, I mean, I've been to a very expensive lodge, and their guides, you get on the boat, and it's like, here's our Reddingtons. Our grips are falling off. Our line is shit. And you're like, we spent a lot of money, and you're giving us crap. Like, I do think the quality of the gear makes a difference, too.
No doubt. Yeah,
Take pride in that shit, you know?
for sure.
I mean, I think you can tell a lot when the guy's like, you know, he had sages. Oh, those are sages. Let's go. No, those are mine.
Yeah.
You're going to use the Reddingtons.
Right.
It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, quality gear.
Big deal.
And then there's a ton of it out there these days. I mean, you don't have to spend $1 million to
No.
get into fly fishing. Going back to the, you know, barriers of entry, people think, oh, it's such a big investment. I got to get this and that and put backing on the reel and all that stuff. But it's not, you know, you can get really quality stuff these days and not spend a fortune doing it.
Yeah, my stick's 7 years old, and it's fine.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff out there these days.
Yeah.
It's a great way to spend time.
It's a
And
good way
money.
to spend time.
And that too.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else, Hammer?
I don't think so.
You want to tell us the hammer, how this came about?
That is certainly not appropriate.
Any Hoosers?
on that note, and in closing,
I thought it was when you were doing that roofing job, no?
Oh, ham bone.
Sounds like it's time to wrap it up.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We'll check in again soon. Laters.
Laters.